In order to help you get started using the Solid Drafter software system, we will begin by discussing the settings. The first of the settings are located by clicking the Solid button and then Preferences in the lower right-hand corner of that window. In the Preferences window, there are several tabs in the upper section of the window. Each of those tabs provides an opportunity to enter information or choose certain settings that automate and configure the operation of the software. All of the tabs in the Preferences window are not relevant to the use of Solid Drafter, so we'll talk about the ones that are. First, in the User tab, you can enter your company name and other information. By typing that information here one time, the information will be available for you to selectively place into drawings and bid documents so that you won't have to type it again later. Another tab that you may want to visit is the Layout tab. In the Layout tab, there are fields where you can type numbers to control the behavior of cabinets as to how they are placed in a design. I have zeros in these fields for clearances. However, if you always want a cabinet to be a certain distance away from something like a refrigerator or a window, you can type in a clearance value like 2 inches. And from that point forward, the software will never let a cabinet get any closer to a door than 2 inches. One of the advantages of setting up your choices in the Preferences window is that whatever you type into this window becomes a global setting that controls the behavior of the software in all of the jobs or projects that you design going forward. Another tab you might wish to check and possibly make changes in is the Measurement Units tab. The measurement units allow you to select the units of measurement and the precision level that you would like to see throughout the software. In all cases, the settings that you make here in the Preferences window act as global settings, but they do not restrict you from changing those settings as you use the software live in a job or design. Now I'd like to introduce a valuable tool to help you learn how to use the Solid Drafter system. The help files launch and run as a separate application along with the software. When you start the help files, you'll see the button for the help files separate on the taskbar from the button for Solid Drafter. I'd like to demonstrate how to use the help files by bringing back up the Preferences window. To find out more information and details about how to use any particular part of the software, you can type in the word or name that appears in the window or the tool that you're working with at the time into the search field in the help files. Then click List Topics, and that will bring up a list of help topics that relate to the window or tool whose name you typed into the field. I'm going to double click on Preferences, which is the closest match to the search, and you'll see that this has brought up a step-by-step explanation of what each of the tabs in the Preferences do. As you type a search item into the help files, you may find things that you want to be able to refer to again later for reference or to continue your learning of how to use the system. When you find something that fits that model, you can click on the Favorites tab and then click the button at the bottom of the Favorites panel, and it will add the topic that you are currently viewing to a list of your favorites. As you work with the help files to get more information about how to use the software and add topics to the favorites, it will build your own customized resource for learning to use the software. Now we're going to click the button to create a new job or project and discuss some additional settings. When the Job Properties window appears, there is a Job button that allows you to enter information about the job. there is also a Room button. In the Room button, there is a Layout tab. Here there are settings that control the thickness and height of walls, and a dimension that cabinets can be placed down from the top of the wall called soffit height. There's also another position called vertical positional. The soffit height and vertical positional values control how far from the top of the wall different cabinets that hang on the wall will automatically be placed. The height and thickness of walls should be set here before you start a job and after you create each new room in the job, so that you will have the height and thickness of walls that you require for that particular project and won't have to change those settings for each wall that you draw. For countertops, there is also a Layout tab. This has the opportunity to enter information about overhangs, minimum depths for countertops, and whether or not you want the software to automatically add a splash. Like the settings that appear in the Preferences window, each of the choices and values that can be entered in the Layout tabs in the job properties will automate the way the software behaves and make it more compatible for your individual use. In the job properties, typing the word job properties in the help files will bring up a detailed information of how all of the different windows and tabs in job properties work, or typing the name of an individual button will bring up information about the choices just in that section of the properties. The job properties window will always appear when you start a new project in Solid Drafter. And again, like the items in the Preferences window, not all of the items in job properties are relevant to your use of the Solid Drafter system. We'll discuss the items in the job properties that are relevant to your use of the system next.